Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, today I'm going to be making 4 cards, well actually 4 more cards using the Scrapping for Less July 2017 card kit. Now this kit has 4 collections in it, and it comes with a sketch sheet also. Now if you didn't get the sketch sheet, you can always download it, and I'll leave links below in the description area to where you can download the sketch sheets for this kit. Now this kit did sell out, and if you would like to review the contents, I'll link my very first video that shows all the contents of this kit in the end of this tutorial. But I'm going to go ahead and jump in and get started. I want to make 4 cards using the sketch sheet that came with the kit, and I'm going to start off using collection number 1. As you can see, the collection is well used, but I still have tons of stuff in it, so I thought I'd make some cards using it. We're going to start off by taking this yellow piece of pattern paper, and I'm going to die cut the panel out using that. And then once I have that done, I'm going to be using my white card base for that. And here you can see the size difference. I'm going to cut out a strip of this pattern paper that has balloons on it. Just kind of figuring out my placement. I'm going to mark it and trim off the top here. Lovely. And then I'm going to take this blue pattern paper that has stars on it, and I'm going to trim that down too. Just on the end here. Take a little bit off. Now I'm going to use the blue pattern paper for the bottom of the card, so I thought I needed a little bit more. So I thought these little tickets were really fun, so I'm going to cut some strips of these tickets out. I thought they're cute, adorable little tickets, so I had an extra piece, so I'll just use that one. Next I'm using my circle die, and I'm going to cut out, I want to make a shaker card for this one, so I want to cut out a backing and then a piece of acetate. And then on the bottom here, there's a little thin strip of stars. I wanted to accent that bottom piece of paper that was blue with the stars with a little bit of yellow. So I thought this little piece with the stars would be perfect. Now for my shaker window, I'm going to cut out a frame using the red cardstock that came in the kit. And then I do have a little bit of leftover sequins, so I'm going to use those up as well. Now I'm going to start off by just taking my multimedia mat, and I'm going to glue my acetate to this frame. The multimedia mat works well. It just takes a little time to dry. So once I got that done, this is the back panel of my shaker. I'm going to, since I did get the banana split level card kit, it comes with a sentiment stamp. These ones are from Lawn Fawn. And so I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says, I forgot what it said. Okay, it says hip hip hooray. Sorry about that. And then the banana split level did come with a mini cube of VersaFine, so that's what I used to stamp it. Now I already added some foam tape around my shaker window. I went ahead and added the sequins. Now since I did use most of the sequins, I thought I'd add just a little bit more something, so I took those tickets that I cut out, and using my hole punch just to give it a nice edge on them, I'm going to cut out some of those tickets and put those in the shaker as well. I'm just going to attach the back, and there's my little shaker. And actually I really like the tickets in there. I thought it gave it a real fun look. I think that looks so cute. Okay, we have our shaker done, and then we're going to work on our card here. I'm just using my tape runner, and I'm going to adhere this yellow pattern paper to my card base. And then once I have that done, I'm going to take the balloons and add that as well directly on my card. And then for this next piece, I'm going to take that little thin strip of stars. I'm going to add that to the bottom here. I'm just going to trim off the end a little bit. And then I was just about ready to add that, and then I thought it just needed something else. And so I have a scallop edge die, And using the same pattern paper that I used behind my shaker window, I cut out a little scallop edge. And I'm just going to add that to the bottom of this blue paper here. And I think that adds a lot to it. And you'll notice inside the shaker window there's some black sequins. And so to tie everything together, I took some black and white baker's twine, and I'm just going to add that to the bottom of this little piece here. And then I popped it up with some foam tape, and I'm going to place that on my card base. I want to go ahead and pop up my shaker. And as I was looking at the card, it just wasn't flowing right for me, so I'm going to tear it right off my white card base. And I'm going to pop it up on, this is the red cardstock that came with the kit. I'm sorry about the shaking camera. I don't know why it does that. I'm sorry about that. But I'm taking the red cardstock that came with the kit, and I'm going to add that to that. And I think that looks a lot nicer. To finish it off, I'm just going to add some faux stitching around there. And that's it. That's card number 1 using sketch number 1. Okay, now we're going to move on to card number 2. Now for card number 2, I'm going to show you the sketch real fast. Okay. Now the sketch was a square card, but I improvised a little bit with that one. Okay, now for card number 2, I'm using collection number 2, and these are all the goodies that came in it. Now I want to remind you again that I did use a lot of the goodies that came in the kit with my other cards. But we're going to go ahead and get started stamping the little hippo that came in the stamp set. In collection number 2, it came with Lawn Fawn Happy Hippo Birdie stamp set. It was so cute. So that's what I wanted to stamp, the hippo and the birdie, and then I thought I'd stamp 3 of the balloons that came in that little stamp set too. Now I'm kind of arranging them the way I want them on the card. Now I don't know why I'm doing this, because I end up cutting them out, but I did. I just sped up the coloring real fast. The coloring is kind of simple, but I'm just coloring the hippo with grays, and then the little birdie with yellows, and then 3 different colors for the balloons. I love this little hippo. I'm going to rosy his cheeks just a little bit. And then the little birdie. Color him yellow, and then I did color his beak orange. And then there's my balloons. Now, I don't have the dies for that, but Scrapping for Less does have the dies if you want to purchase those. But I just fussy cut them out. It was no problem. And on the balloons, I did cut the strings off. Okay, so we have that done. Now, these are the pattern papers that came in collection number 2. So I cut out 2 panels behind these ones here. And then I'm going to take my circle dies and cut out 3 circles with these 3 colors here. Once I have that done, I use the smaller die, circle dies, to cut out white cardstock for the centers of those circles there. And I taped those white circles to a piece of scratch paper, and then I thought it needed just something in the background. It was just too white for me. So I'm using this little cloud stencil, and I'm creating a little cloud background. I end up covering most of it up, but it just added a little something more than the white. I'm just going to take those off and set those aside. Okay, now we need our sentiment. So for the sentiment, my last piece of paper that I didn't use that was in this collection is this pink and white polka dotted one. So I'm just going to stamp my sentiment on that. I'm going to stamp Hippo Birdie to you, which is so adorable. And I'm sorry I'm out of range. You can't see my stamping. But I just trimmed that down, and now I'm going to fishtail the ends and trim off that end piece there. Now I ended up, I didn't realize this when I was stamping it, but the Hippo Birdie to you was a little bit too long for what I was going for. But you'll see what I did in just a minute. I'm just going to pop up all of these white panels. See, this is where my sentiment was just a little too long. So I ended up covering up the hippo and then stamping the hippo on the smallest circle that I had, and then I just attached all of them to my panel here. After I got that in, I need some strings for my balloons, so I'm just taking my marker and drawing strings, kind of tucking the strings underneath that that hippo sentiment there. Next, I need some ribbon, so I grabbed some white ribbon from my stash, and I'm just going to tie a bow up on top. And again, I'm using the sketch number 2 as my guide. I'm just going to trim off the ends there. And now I'm going to pop that whole panel up with some foam tape. And then I'm going to place it on that's a teal colored panel. I'm debating on what card base to use, and I end up using a white card base. Using my glue runner, I'm just going to adhere this right in the center here. And then once I have that done, I'm going to tilt my little panel here off to the side and adhere that. I'm going to finish it off with some Wink of Stella. And then that's it for my card number 2. I'll show you the sketch, and that way you could see the sketch right next to it. Sometimes I think it's just fun to do. So sketch number 2 and card number 2. Okay, now we're going to go for sketch number 3 and card number 3, and we're using collection number 3. I'm going to start off by cutting up a panel using the blue cardstock that came in the kit. And then I'm going to take this pattern paper and I'm going to trim it down. I kind of marked it off with a pencil just to help me trim it faster. And in this paper collection, it had some pattern paper strips. This one has candles on it, so I'm just going to trim that down. And then there was another pattern paper that had numbers on it, and so I trimmed that down as well. Now I'm just kind of figuring out my arrangement. I'm going to use my pencil to figure out where I can cut, where my cut marks will be. And using my tape runner, I'm going to adhere these 2 panels to the bottom and then the number panel up on top. Okay, I think that looks good. Now, for collection number 3, it came with a stamp set from Brutus Monroe, and this one is Brain Freeze, which is adorable. Has this little, it could be coffee, but today I want to treat it like it's a little slushy. So I'm inking it up, and I stamped it 2 times on some white cardstock, and then I also stamped the bottom part of the sentiment that says Brain Freeze. Now I'm just going to use my alcohol markers and color in the top parts of those little slushies. Now if I didn't have any, if I had to do this card over again, I would have used some more softer colors for the slushie. The colors that I used happened to be a little bit brighter than I wanted, but I didn't have any alternatives, so once I got that done, I'm taking my craft knife and I'm going to cut out the bottom part of those slushies. I'm going to turn those into a shaker window. I thought these are Kennedy Gray sequins, and they're just gorgeous sequins. And so I thought it'd be really pretty to use those inside the little slushie. So I'm cutting both of those out. After I got that done, I went ahead and added the acetate sheet behind it, and then I popped it up with some foam tape. And then I'm just ready to add these beautiful sequins. I'm kind of shaking them up because these sequins do have seed beads in them, so I want the seed beads in there as well. But those colors are just so pretty. I'm kind of making it really full and packed. So this shaker is actually not going to shake. I just wanted the sequin accent behind it. I'm going to add a white panel behind there. And I think that looks so cute. But since the tops were really bold colors, I just needed to do a little bit more. So the strips that were in the base of the cup, I just colored those in and cut them out, and I'm adding them to my little slushy cups. Okay. Now I'm going to take the blue pattern, or the blue cardstock that I used to put as my panel, and I cut out a smaller rectangle, and I'm going to adhere this as a background for this one. And then I cut out another piece of cardstock, and we're going to put the first part of our sentiment. The first part will say, sorry I missed your, and then on the bottom of that says birthday. But I'm not going to stamp the birthday. I'm just going to go, sorry I missed your. And you can see up there I cut out a strip that says happy birthday. I'm going to use that birthday to add a little color on this panel. I just popped that up, and I'm going to place that on some blue cardstock as well. Lovely. And using my tape runner, I'm just going to adhere both pieces to my card base here. Kind of arrange them first. Okay, I'm just going to add my little birthday here. Lovely. Now, next, I wanted to, well, I wanted a few more sequins in those open areas. So I'm just using, this is glossy, or actually this is my multimedia mat. I'm just adding some sequins here and there. And then I'm going in with my glossy accents, and I'm going to go over the lids and then those lines that are on my shaker here. And I don't know why I did this, but I did put glossy accents in the center of my sequins. And when it dried, you couldn't even tell. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. Sometimes I do things just to see what the outcome would be. And this outcome wasn't much. So I would skip that step. Now I'm going to add my panel to my card base. I'm just using my white card base for this. And that's it. That's it for that card. Here's the sketch that kind of coordinates with it. Okay, and now for sketch number 4 and card number 4, I'm going to be using collection number 4. Now, I'm going to take this pattern paper, and using my rectangle die, I'm going to cut out a panel. Actually, I cut out 2 panels. One using one using this pattern, and then there's a striped pattern paper I'm going to use too. I cut out 3 small squares, and I also cut out some stars using a star die from my stash. I'm going to take, these are Doodlebug Happy Birthday stickers, and I'm going to take these and I'm going to place happy birthday on each one of these little squares that I had cut out. I'm going to split up the birthday so it'll say birth and then day below it. And you'll notice after I get all of them done that I kind of alternated the day. I'll put it all the way to the right on one of those little squares, and then I'll put it all the way to the left on another one. But I love these little stickers. They're so cute. This is kind of a masculine card, and I think it would be great for a guy. I just did that to all 3 of them. I'm gonna flip them over, and then I'm gonna use some dimensional adhesive and pop those up. Then I'm gonna place them on my pattern paper here. These kits are so loaded with tons of stuff. I mean, it's a great value too. Collection number 4 actually came with the Sunny Studios, the little stamp set you see there. But I thought the birthday stickers would be fun. I'm just going to add some foam tape to the back of this panel. remove the backing, and I'm going to place that on this pretty blue pattern paper. And then I went ahead and I'm going to adhere that to my card base. I'm going to use a white card base for this card as well. And then I went ahead and added my stars. I did punch out some white ones as well. And then just to top it off, I'm going to add some sequins here and there. Each collection comes with coordinating sequins that are custom made for each collection, and they're beautiful, beautiful sequins. They're from Kennedy Grace. After I got that done, I'm just going to go in with my Wink of Stella and go over the happy birthdays and a few of the stars, and that's it. Here's a quick look at all 4 cards that I made using the Scrapping for Less July 2017 card kit. I hope if you got this kit, I hope this inspires you, gives you some ideas on what to do. I thank you so much for stopping by, guys. I wish you a lovely rest of the weekend, and thank you for joining me. If you like this tutorial, give me a thumbs up, and if you're new and want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you again real soon, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.